Hey, this is Keith with the Common Sense Practical Prepper podcast, and this is your 1-minute survival tip for May 7th, 2025. So recently I've been talking about what you can do in a SHTF situation, a short time where the grid's down or an extended period of time where the grid's down or there's a supply chain interruption. And I think the most recent supply chain interruption would have been during COVID, and that created a lot of pain points here for at least us here in the United States. So when I think about medication and vitamins and supplements, and again, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, that's my little disclaimer. So someone doesn't go out and say, well, Keith said I have to take this, and they end up, having a stroke or something, and I get sued. So there's my disclaimer. So everybody knows, and I'll just go ahead and say it, and all you folks who listen to my podcast in foreign countries, America is probably the most medicated / over-medicated country on the planet. That's right, I said it. So if I have any folks from the pharmaceutical companies that listen to me, I certainly do apologize, but that's just the fact. We have a pill for everything. So given a situation where there's a supply chain interruption or an SHTF situation, let's say you have high blood pressure, you take a medication, high cholesterol, you take a statin drug. You're only going to have a finite supply of those. If a doctor gives you 60, 90 days, you have 60 or 90 days of those. If you have to bug out, get on the road, you need to take the medication with you. It's not like if the world goes to hell in a handbasket, you can pull up at your local pharmacy and try to get your prescription filled. If the power is out, you're not going to be able to go to the pharmacy and get your prescription filled. So this is what I have looked into and what I have decided to try to do for myself. There is a gentleman on YouTube, and he's all over social media. His name is Dr. Berg, B-E-R-G. Again, this is not an endorsement for him, but I find that his videos are very informative. One of the things that he does is, let's say, cholesterol. He talks about statin drugs. Now, the drugs are fine. Drugs work for people. Don't get me wrong. But what he has prescribed, you see what I did there? What he has suggested is that there are other remedies. There are other ways to get your cholesterol down. And I'm not just talking about diet and exercise, although that's certainly important. There are things that occur in nature, in food, in certain type of vegetables. There's all sorts of things that we can do naturally, or let's take the word naturally out, and let's just say without prescription medication to help control the high cholesterol in this sense. So he has a lot of very informative videos. So if you get a chance, go check him out. Again, I'm not saying he's the end all be all and we should all, run out and buy all the stuff he recommends, but he has some very good information because one, in my opinion, it's more healthy if you eat a bunch of carrots or a bunch of smoothies with X, Y, and Z in it than have to take a statin drug. Well, that's a chemical and allegedly it helps, and I'm sure it helps a lot of people, but that's a chemical that you're putting into your body. That's a chemical that has to be manufactured and put into a pill form. If a lot of folks don't realize that a lot of the components that goes into medication come from China. Now, that's the components. Now, the drug, the pill form, the capsules, they're put together here in the United States, but a lot of the base material comes from China. In the event of a grid down situation or an extended supply chain interruption, that's going to be a problem. So go to his website, go to his YouTube channel. He's on X, and I'm sure he's on Facebook and all the other socials. But go check him out and just see what he has to say, because it's going to be a lot easier in an SHTF situation for you to, have a blueberry smoothie with a carrot mushed up in it or whatever it happens to be, than running out of your statin and not being able to control your cholesterol. So give him a shot. I figured I'd just throw that out there. Thanks.